Girls, what's the most obvious I like you hint you gave a guy, but for some reason they still didn't get it? We were stargazing. Him, okay. To find a shooting star. Just look at a point that you're attracted to. I look straight at him. No, you need to look at the sky. That's the cutest fucking S I've ever read. Well, this is probably the most embarrassing moment of my life, but I'll share anyways. In year 11th I liked this guy, and I had been dropping hints for a while, and since they weren't getting me anywhere I, with a lot of encouragement from my best friend, who was convinced he liked me too, outright told him I like you. His answer hurt a little, not gonna lie. What? That wasn't even funny, to which I had to clarify that I was in fact not joking, I'm being serious. And as it turns out my best friend was terribly wrong, because his answer was, well, this is awkward. I actually like your best friend. The friendship with the guy got really awkward afterward because he kept making jokes about how I liked him. Hey, I'm sitting next to you. But this doesn't mean anything. Don't get any ideas. Completely platonic. You're like another dude to me. Harshy wishes. Needless to say, I got over him quite quickly. Dang. That dude really rubbed salt in that wound. I can't imagine doing that to someone. Probably the kindest thing he could have done, even if it was unintentional. And he was actually an asshole. Straight up sitting on his lap when watching a movie, kissing his cheek, and nuzzling my head into his neck, plus multiple other obvious verbal and physical clues. But he thought I gave off mixed signals and only wanted to be friends? Did the things worked out later? Started dating other people and just so happened to never end up single at the same time, so nothing ever came of it. We are great friends. And I'm about to go play Pokemon Go with him in 30 minutes. Doesn't matter, got back quote em all. Asking for his hand, then writing my phone number on it. I did that 3 times. But of course they never called. I still cringe about doing that. To be fair, I once had a very charming lady write her number on my hand. I'm an avid hand washer, meaning before and after using the bathroom, I was drying my hands. About to walk out of the bathroom before I remembered the ink. Too late. She was already gone. And serendipity never gave me another chance. I was mad at myself for weeks. Man, I somewhat related story, with a very similar feeling of disappointment. A few years ago I was at a music festival with some friends, and we had split up to watch different bands play their last sets before the festival closed, so we planned to meet up right before the exit after the sets ended. I got there first, and was looking around for my friends in a sea of thousands of people when a very attractive girl comes up and just blatantly tells me the most forward thing a female has ever said to me. I saw you earlier in the day and thought you were extremely attractive. Since I saw you again, I figured it was a sign to come up and tell you directly. My dumber was so tired and focused on finding my friends that I just went, oh wow, thanks, you're super attractive too, before going back to looking for my friends. She just stood there for a few seconds and awkwardly walked away. About 2 minutes later my friends walked up and said they saw me talking to the girl, but didn't want to interrupt, so they stayed back for a second. My brain then processes what I had done. But she had disappeared into the crowd. On the car ride home I was scrolling through Instagram, only to see the very same girl who had come up to me posting pictures literally 15 feet from where she talked to me. She was an influencer who I had found extremely attractive for a year or two beforehand, and my soul has been crushed ever since. She now has literally millions of followers and a family, and I still kick myself for it. I feel like kicking you in the nuts so hard. r/angry upvote 2. This is so dorky, but I liked a boy in high school, and he was nice, and we'd talk on AIM a lot, and one day thinking I was being so brave I wrote him, I've been locked inside your heart-shaped box for weeks. Mayo, I thought it was so cute, and he was all aw. Get out. If it wasn't me, I'd make fun of me for that. I've been locked inside your heart-shaped box for weeks. That's odd, there is no lock on that. It's just a burnt out husk. You should just leave via one of the massive open holes. Before my girlfriend was my girlfriend, she was just a friend I had a crush on who texted me saying she fucked up cause she drunk texted her crush the night before. I replied with damn, was it bad? And had a conversation with her. Some 20 minutes later I realized she spent the whole night in question texting me. I'm not an extremely intelligent man. Edit. In the off chance my girlfriend actually sees this and recognizes me, I wanna just say I love her a lot. To be fair, she could have texted someone else at the same time. Damn, you may have just ruined a relationship, haha. He finally realized it was him, and she didn't want to hurt him, so she just went with it, and now they are married with 5 kids, and she is waiting for the last one to turn 18 to finally let him down gently. Wow, that's so polite. She must be Canadian. I think you are cute. Wanna go to the movies? He was pretty shocked when I kissed him. We've been together for 2.5 years now. Mission passed plus RESPECT. Oh definitely. They're having some coffee. There's a lot of dude stories in this thread, but I have to add one more. 2 of my friends invited me out to a park. These 2 were/are dating. When I showed up it was them, plus an extra woman. We hung out, played some games for a couple hours. Then I grabbed my buddy and left. So, what did you think of friendly lady? She seems nice. Flash forwarded the evening. He invites me out to the club. When I show up, once again, new lady friend is there. We get some drinks, dance for a bit. About 3/4 of the way through the night she leaned in and whispered in my ear, under this dress I'm not wearing any panties. Commando. It's a great comfort thing. The look on her face was a mix of disbelief and insult. At the end of the night she was leaving with another guy. I waved and said have fun. It was good meeting you. And when I turned back my buddy looked at me like I was the dumbest thing on the planet. That's quite the reaction from the dude we were trying to set her up with. And that's when it all made sense. Edit. No. It never progressed. I whiffed bad. She was miffed, and I was embarrassed, so I took the L and moved on. Haha. I mean, it is a great comfort thing. You wanna go out? I wish I was joking. Edit. I like all your stories. I also see that guys get teased by fake dates often. Sorry to hear that, dudes. That must feel awful. Edit again because I have to keep saying it. I had to reword my question for him. And when I said dating he replied OHHHH and it finally clicked for him. We dated for a while. We still laugh about the situation because it's just funny to think about. I was that guy at least once. I was taking transit home from a New Year's party at a friend's bar. I ended up chatting with this beautiful woman about my age. Find out I'd just left the university she was finishing up at that year, and she was staying with some of her family in my neighborhood for the rest of the holidays. Generally hit it off pretty well. We end up having an animated, hilarious conversation for the hour each trip. As I go to get off at my stop she says I'd love to get together for a drink before I leave town again, and my dumbass says yeah that'd be great. Then I wave goodbye and hop off the streetcar. It took me about 14 steps to realize that 1. She wanted to exchange contact information so we could see each other again. 2. We didn't exchange that information. 3. I'm colossally stupid as a person. Dude, you fucking crushed her. I tried to let her down easy. It wasn't her, it was me. This one is a little different because we'd been going on dates and were clearly interested in each other. We just weren't exclusive or official yet. I asked him if he wanted to make it official, but could we make it an easy to remember date? He looked at me and I said oh wow it's late. It's 11:59. Oh crap, what's the date today? And he said it June 15th. We both grew up in the 616 area code, and I said oh. It's midnight. So it's not the 15th anymore. You know what's a really easy date to remember? He mulled it over for a minute and said 9/11. I stared at him until he said never forget. We got covered married using the same 6/16 date. But we still laugh about that moment often. Low-key. That 9/11 joke he made sounds like something I would say. Me, never forget the mom spaghetti. It's ready. I think we should see other people. Oh my poor guy. I had been flirting hardcore for years. Complimenting him, comparing hand sizes, suggesting he needed someone to keep his bed warm, doing everything to be alone with him. But I think the biggest one was once after a Pathfinder game he said it was time to go home, and I said your place or mine. To which I got I'm heading to my place. I was so frustrated I literally grabbed him and asked him out. Now I wake up every day next to the best man I've ever known. AWW. That's cute. If you didn't tell me you ended up together, I might actually assume he's just not interested lol. Guy here. I told a girl on MSN years ago that I had a crush on her. She replied, "It's mutual," and I didn't know what that meant, so I ghosted her. Oh my god. You were literally using the most revolutionary tool for information sharing / discovery, and yet didn't bother to look up the definition of a word. Lol. A new monk arrives at the monastery. He is assigned to help the other monks in copying the old texts by hand. He notices, however, that they are copying copies and not the original books. So, the new monk goes to the head monk to ask him about this. He points out that if there was an error in the first copy, that error would be continued in all of the other copies. The head monk says, "We have been copying from the copies for centuries, but you make a good point, my son." So, he goes down into the cellar with one of the copies to check it against the original. Hours later, nobody has seen him. So, one of the monks goes downstairs to look for him. He hears sobbing coming from the back of the cellar and finds the old monk leaning over one of the original books crying. He asks, "What's wrong, you fuckers?" he says, with anger and sadness in his eyes. The word was celebrate. Wow, I could feel the tedium in that joke from the first paragraph. Good job.